In today's episode, Sherry asks, what do you look for in a good data science course? What's an indicator that a course is worth paying for, and what isn't? That's a really good question, because there are a ton of these crash courses and instant courses and learn data science in 5 weeks. Now, just for a moment, consider data science is a profession just like any other profession. Would you feel comfortable going to, say, a doctor who learned surgery in 10 weeks? Like, crash course in surgery, learn everything you need to know in 10 weeks. I don't know that I would feel comfortable going to a doctor like that. I would like to see the doctor have, some time, some experience taking a full education, as opposed to just the fastest way to become a surgeon. Equally true, if I were on trial, I would not think to look for, like, who became a lawyer, who took the crash course in trial law. Not, that doesn't make me feel super reassured. And the same thing is true for data science, for analytics, for machine learning. There is more than just a course, or if there's going to be a course, there should be tons of prerequisites and tons of follow-up work to surround that data science portion with all the other things that are important to know in order to be an effective data scientist. So keep that in mind. When you hear instant or fast results and stuff like that, I don't know that I would feel comfortable trusting my company data to somebody who tried to get the basics down in 10 weeks. Can you learn something in 10 weeks or one course? Absolutely. You can learn some things, but could you reasonably call yourself a full-time professional data scientist with the same credibility that someone who is a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, with just a course? Probably not. So keep that in mind. So, what are the things that you should be looking for in a data science curriculum? Number one, there should be very heavy emphasis on statistics. Statistics is the core of data science. It is, statistics and probability are basically everything that happens in data science happens with those foundations. The second thing you should spend a lot of time on are algorithms and the math behind them, but not like using particular pieces of software, not like the IBM way or the Tableau way or the R way, but the algorithms themselves. What is the algorithm? How does it work? When do you use it? When do you not use it? So everything from basic linear regression, what is it? When do you use it? How do you use it? All the way up to things like Pareto multi-objective optimization, big big $10 words. Your curriculum should be focusing heavily on learning the techniques, learning when they're appropriate, learning when they're not appropriate, learning how to do them. And that's where you should be using some of the tools and technologies. Chances are you're going to use either R or Python because those are open source languages and they are sort of the gold standards in data science and machine learning, especially R because of its statistical background. Another language that you will probably run into, certainly in the corporate world, will be SPSS. But avoid looking at courses that promise very specific technologies. We all know that the technology landscape is always changing, that something that is hot today may be gone tomorrow. And you don't want to be the data science equivalent of that person who specialized in MySpace, right? That person who specialized now in Google+. You want to be the person who knows how to do things like regression and prediction and clustering and all of the techniques, and that's tool agnostic. So if a course is leading with, you're going to learn these technologies, these hot market technologies, okay, as opposed to you're going to learn the fundamentals of how to do the thing and how to do it intelligently no matter what tool is on the market. When you look at something, for example, like IBM Watson Studio, there's drag and drop modules from SPSS and the neural network modeler and all these different techniques. And you look at this long list of techniques like the Bayesian clustering. You have in the neural model, you have boosting and ReLU, and all this stuff. If a data science course has prepared you well you should look down that list of techniques of all the things you can drag and drop into the interface and go, yep, I know what that one does. Yep, I know what that one does. Yep, I know what that one does. I know when to use it. I know what sequence to put these blocks in. And that's the most important thing, is knowing conceptually what order to put the things in, where to put them, when to use them, when not to use them. And so a course that's heavy on the algorithms, heavy on the techniques. The third thing that you definitely want to look for is you want to look for a course that has at least one, if not a complete standalone course on ethics. Data ethics is one of the most critical pieces of data science. It is one of the most overlooked, and it is the quality indicator of a course. So, for example, when you go to a sushi restaurant, there are like three things you look at. Number one, you look at the color of the tuna. If the tuna is kind of a bright red, tuna should generally be a dark red. You look at the color of the avocado. If the color is anything other than vibrant green and yellow, it's been sitting out too long. So you know either the food doesn't turn over that fast, or they prepared their stuff way in advance and shouldn't have. Third, and this is the quality indicator of a sushi restaurant, do they have fresh wasabi? The best sushi restaurants have fresh wasabi, fresh from wasabi root, real wasabi, not colored horseradish. And that's one of those little gimmicks you learn, but it tells you very much about that restaurant based on that one little ingredient. The same thing is true in data science. If there is an ethics component that is prominent in the course description, you know you've got a winning course. You know that you got a course that has been well thought out. Because someone who wants to get up to speed as fast as possible in 10 weeks or less, ethics isn't their thing, right? They want to, the kind of person that attracts is someone who just wants to ride the wave and get up to and running as fast as possible. Not someone who wants to learn it thoroughly and have thoughtful consideration about what techniques to use. And therefore, they're not going to sit through an ethics course. But someone who really wants to know the thing is going to take the ethics course and be okay with having that be a part of the curriculum, part of the time that they invest. So look for that. That's the indicator of a great ethics, of a great data science course, is having that. That's that little sushi moment right there within the courses. So those are the things to look for. Now, are there good courses to take? Yes. Look at the statistical courses within the mathematics departments at major universities, MIT, Stanford, all these things. And by the way, a fair number of the actual classes are available for free. You don't need to pay $5, $10, $15, $20,000 in order to learn the stuff. What you pay for when you take a course or a degree like that is you're paying for the name, you're paying for the certification. Basically, the MIT or whoever says, yep, you know the thing, you passed our exams. We validate that you know the thing. But to actually get the knowledge itself, so many of these individual classes on things like statistics and probability and such are completely and totally free. They're available online. So if you want the knowledge, go get the knowledge first. And it's a good way, by the way, to test yourself, to see like, okay, I'm going to go and take Stats 101. If you just can't stomach it, it's like, oh my God, what did I do? You didn't pay money for it, right? You didn't shell out $5 or $10 grand for the certification. You know just from the first course, not my thing, and you can go and focus on something that you do want to be good at. So make sure that you try out some of those courses. But yes, definitely look at reputable schools that have strong stats and math programs, like the MITs and the Stanfords of the world, as a starting point. So great question, important question, very important question about what is real and what is not in the data science world. Thanks for asking, and as always, if you have questions of your own, leave them in the comments here or leave them on my website, and subscribe to the YouTube channel and the newsletter. Talk to you soon. Take care.
Want help solving your company's data analytics and digital marketing problems? Visit trustinsights.ai today and let us know how we can help you.